Then comes along the migration crisis, the refugee crisis, completely unexpected. Europe as a whole loses control of its borders, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people arrive, many of them, not all, but clearly many of them, genuine refugees. Okay? What is happening, of course, is breaking the standard asylum rules, which is that you seek asylum in the first country you get to that's safe. Well, to be fair, I don't think the Greeks and the Italians can cope with this, so I think that's perfectly reasonable, but it's breaking the rules. And they, of course, all want to go to stable, rich, northern countries with lots of jobs. And Germany is one highly favored country, but lots of them clearly would like to come to the UK, which has lots of jobs and is reasonably stable and rich. And the British are desperate to keep them out. This is absolutely clear. And the way we can prevent them seeking from asylum is to prevent them ever getting in. And one of the advantages of being in an island is you're relatively easy to do so. Relatively easy. Not perfectly easy, but relatively easy to do so. So the policy has been to say, we are a fortress island, we will not allow any of these people in, and you deal with them, because they got to you first. France, Germany, it's your problem. But that has become politically unmanageable for them, and they've been forced to accept a certain number, which will create many big problems for him. My vision of the future on this is, one, we will be forced to take more. Two, which is right, I'm not complaining, I'm perfectly happy with that. We won't take enormously much more, maybe 50, maybe 60, it's not going to be 200,000 or 300,000. That's just not going to happen. The government will fall over that. The government will fall over that. I'm absolutely no doubt. And our determination to tighten up border controls will increase beyond what it already is, which is very, very substantial indeed. And this is going to create a lot of friction. But let me just say one final thing, which is the thing I thought about most. This is a manageable crisis for Europe and for Britain, which is a secondary part of it, provided the Europeans find some way of regaining control over the borders. If they can't regain control over their borders, it's just not clear where it ends and what it does. But one possibility is the borders go up all across Europe. Because countries, I think you've seen this with Denmark, you see it with Austria and Germany, countries will not accept that their neighbors, because of the complete free movement, are able to make policy decisions on immigration, which not only change the ethnic composition and religious composition of the country that makes the decision, but also of everybody else. In this situation, fundamental sovereignty considerations will, I believe, arise, and people will say, we alone can decide who is going to be in our country. And if you accept that millions and millions and millions of people, many of whom will move on, we're not going to accept that. So I think it is potentially very, very threatening to the free movement of people principle in the European Union. They have to regain control over their borders and then decide how many asylum seekers in aggregate they're going to take. I don't think the quota system, by the way, can be made to work ultimately, because you can put people wherever you want, but they can move. So the quota system, which is what Juncker is proposing, everybody takes, is sort of misleading. It's not the way this thing can work. It has to be done in aggregate in an agreed way. It's a very big problem politically for the whole of Europe, and Britain is just a small part of that.